G'day legends, I hope you're all awesome. I check out a lot of gear from all around the world, but today I'm checking out a piece of gear which was conceived and manufactured right here in Perth, Western Australia. This is the TITANUM12, which is billed as active power for your electric guitar, and it comes in this box. I'm going to unveil it. The box is very nicely put together as well, which is always a good sign. It's basically a little module that you fit in between the output of your pickup selector on your guitar and the jack. It's battery powered, and like it says on the tin, it provides phantom power for your electric guitar. The overall effect being that you make your guitar louder and punchier, and it gives you more clarity and more dynamics. That's what the website says anyway. So I'm going to fit this into a guitar and we're going to make some clips with it. Stick around for the end of the video as well, because we're actually going to do a giveaway with this unit as well, and you can find out more about that right at the end of the video. But first, let's make some noise. I know you all love a good unboxing, so let's take a look at what is in the box, and also so that I can show you the module. So I've shown you this so far. Basically, the top of the package pops off. You've got your instructions for installation on a mini USB stick, which is very nice right there. And then, let me pop this out right here. You've also got a QR code with extended warranty instructions on there. And here's the module. So this is pretty interesting. I believe this is made out of Kevlar. Let's get that up right there. So everything is housed in here. All you have a collection of wires coming out of here in your battery clip. So you can probably see there's a red wire and a black wire connected to your battery clip. This end is going to go to the little kind of battery part of your stereo jack. Then these other two black wires are for grounding the module. And then these two, you can think of, you know, your standard cable that's coming out of, say, your pickup selector or your volume pot that would go to your output jack. These are basically going to intercept that and take its place. So you'd come from your pickup selector or your output jack, and you're going to go to the output jack on the unit. So it's very, very straightforward, and that is only slightly bigger than a standard 9-volt battery. You do, of course, need a 9-volt battery alongside it to power it. So I guess the idea with this is, one way to think about it instead of like phantom power is, it's letting you turn any guitar pickup into an active pickup. So the associated advantages of having more output, having more clarity, having a better signal to noise ratio, you can take your favorite pickup and just kind of give you more of what you like. Let's get it installed and have a listen. The only other video that I've seen with the T12 compares two of the same model of guitar, one with the system and one without. I want to hear it in the same guitar before and after. So I hooked it up with a little two-way bypass switch, and I actually added it to a guitar that has already been severely modified. This is an old Les Paul Artist. At one stage it had a Carla Tremolo on here. Now it's got a Stets bar. It had the kind of suite of Les Paul Artist electronics in here, which are now gone. It's been refretted. It's had the neck shaved back. Like I said, it's had a bit of a rough life, but I've installed a little two-way switch on here so that I can go between just the stock sound of the guitar and then the sound with the T12 system engaged. It was relatively easy to find a diagram to do this, and the overall install was pretty smooth. The only thing I wish the package included was a stereo jack, so that I didn't have to go out and buy a separate piece of equipment in there. There are some pretty detailed instructions on how to wire the guitar up and get the T12 system in there. Nevertheless, let's hear it without and with. I think that's the fairest way to determine what is going on. I'll start on the neck pickup, and yes, this toggle switch is upside down because I'm a moron. Okay, that is louder and it is brighter. It sounds like some of the low end has been filtered as well. It kind of takes this guitar, which is admittedly darker sounding than my other Les Paul that I have here, the Sunburst, with some other Martin A. Smith humbuckers in it, but it kind of takes it from, you know, a pretty decent sounding Les Paul into that like Telly from hell or Telly on steroids sort of thing that people like to chase with a Les Paul. Let's hear it with a little bit more crunch now. Let's use all the gain now. Again, I will start with it bypass, and then you'll hear it pretty clearly when it switches in. I'm on the bridge pickup, even though this looks like I should be on the neck pickup. That works pretty well in that context where I really liked that high gain sound just with the guitar as it is. It's pretty tight and articulate, and there's loads of gain. You just get a little bit more of what you like in there, again, because of the way it's kind of set up to, I guess, have your pickups push the amp a little bit harder. It sounds less like they're going for a kind of boost or preamp circuit in a box here, and more of, again, that kind of refined pre-EQ. It's almost like the difference between, if you've tried different voices on the Fishman Fluence pickups, for example, I'd say it's actually probably more pronounced than I notice with the Fluences that I've got in my Macati, or I guess the difference between passive and active pickups. That really does have, I think, what I would associate a classic active style sound about it, where it's just punchier and brighter as well as being louder, which raises the question, could I get that same effect just by using pre-EQ? So I want to test that. I use the following process. I bypass my guitar, I plugged it into a DI and into Pro Tools, and I just strummed a G chord for about 30 seconds. Then I tried to replicate the way I was strumming that G chord as closely as possible. Obviously, that is going to be a little bit of a flawed technique in there. Nevertheless, I use FabFilter Pro Q3 to simulate an EQ match curve, and I plug that EQ match curve into my Axe effects. So I've got a parametric curve, which you can see hopefully over here. Hopefully I remember to edit it in and not forget like an absolute mung bean. So what I'm going to give you now are two things. You are going to hear the T12 on its own, then you're going to hear the T12 bypass, but with this parametric EQ curve. We'll go clean, crunch, and filthy. Now that wasn't identical, but it was in the ballpark, which to be honest, I kind of expected. I've had some pretty good results in the past, say EQing a Strat pickup pretty radically to get it to sound more like a high gain humbucker, and vice versa. You can see those videos on my channel. The question though, is that this is marketing itself as something that can give you more punch, more clarity, better sustain. Generally, it can make your guitar sound better or more desirable. And in the case of this guitar, it's definitely bringing it into an area where the starting point is probably closer to where I like it for high gain in particular. So I think it's even more apparent in drop tunings. Let's hear it in drop C, for example, and I'll let you hear it off and then on. We're going to start as before in the off position. In that case, I think that's a pretty cool pre-EQ thing that's going on to both tighten up your guitar sound and add some clarity. You could hear with the low, like add 9 and major chords, that without it, they are a little bit muddy at those settings, and with it, they're a lot clearer and crisper sounding. Now, whether you achieve that by using a device like the TITANUM12, whether you like swapping pickups, whether you like EQing your signal or using pedals, that's what I consider part of modern guitar tone literacy, understanding that, yeah, filtering your signal before you hit a big booming amp like a rectifier or something is going to be really important in achieving, you know, a big, tight, modern, crunchy, clear guitar sound on there. And between this and a pickup swap, you're probably going to spend the same amount of money. There is less labor involved, and installing, you know, a little two-way switch like this, I think is pretty cool because it's really hard to A/B between two different bridge pickups. With this, having it on a two-way switch, you can hear the effect immediately on there. Whether you like the effect or not comes down to personal taste. I just kind of see it as another tool in the toolkit. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I'm pretty curious, is this something that would appeal to you? Would you install this in one or more of your guitars, or would you be more interested in a product like this if it's in a standalone pedal so that you could apply that effect to any guitar that you like? There's a pretty wide range of opinions when it comes to the merits of swapping pickups or just EQing things on your pedal board or on your amp. I think for my personal preference, there is a lot to be said about the initial conditions you have on your guitar. When you pick your guitar up and you run a cable to your pedal board and your amp or your modeler, that first thing that you get out of the guitar is going to influence what you do in the rest of the chain. And with this, I like that it's not something like a typical, you know, onboard guitar preamp where you're just adding a whole bunch of mid-range or a flat boost and adding a whole bunch of noise along with all of that. I like that it's really easy to install and I don't have to modify my pickups or route out this guitar anymore. Of course, if you've got a guitar with a smaller control cavity, that is one thing you need to consider with this unit, whether it will fit in there without modification. But in general, I'm just curious to know what you all think, because this is a pretty novel idea. I really have to applaud the hard work and dedication that went into it and some of the out-of-the-box thinking, which I think the somewhat conservative guitar gear community could really do with. If you want to come and chat more about it, you can join my Discord, which is where we're doing the giveaway. You can win a TITANUM12 for yourself. The Discord server is linked in the video description. Follow that link, join up, and you can fairly easily navigate to the thread on there that I'm going to start about the TITANUM12. Fairly straightforward instructions to follow if you want to win one of these yourself, and I'll personally send it out. So let me know your thoughts jump into the Discord server and you can win one of these for yourself and hopefully find out for yourself. Thanks so much for watching the video. Thank you to the crew at TITANUM12 for letting me test this out and for being so generous with their time and all of my questions in setting this up. And I hope you have a great day. I'll see you all next time.